Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Tepiso, aka Miss Tepi. Thank you so much for joining me and wanting to know what this video is about. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. There's literally no one in the subscription section. Please subscribe. Let's chat on the comments. Please like. Yeah. Anyways, today's video is very dear to my heart because it's very hard as a young black person to, especially in South Africa, which is where I'm based, to like have these kind of conversations without sounding like you're an angry young black lady. Do you know what I mean? So today's topic is, are you ready to ask for a promotion? And we'll chat about, yeah, I know it's one of those topics where every one of us dread to have with our managers at work. So but yeah, let's dive straight into it. So a promotion is not something that we should shy away from asking for in our workplaces. It's important for people that actually manage us to know that these are the kind of things that we want for ourselves. So it's important to always understand that these kind of conversations should happen, but we have to equip ourselves before we start getting into those kind of topics with our managers or whoever is responsible to giving us the opportunities to grow. The last time my friend came over to visit me, he works for a very big medical aid company and it's quite corporate. And he said to me, because he was in HR at some point and now he's moved into the marketing division. And he said to me, a lot of women are scared to have these kind of conversations, where else you find a guy will always be able to say to their manager, I think I'm ready for a promotion. Can we have a look at promoting me into the next level or position or whatever the case may be. So, and it just hit home. It gave me the idea to actually do this video because I feel like there's a whole lot of us out there, especially young women, that are scared to sit down with their managers and say to them, this is how I feel, this is where I am, I feel like I'm ready for a promotion, can we talk about it? So I'll just take you through like step by step what I've experienced in the past when asking for a promotion, and like from short little courses that I've done and programs about growth and all of that. I'll take you through what I've learned throughout those programs and all of that, and conversations with people like my friend that I had a conversation with. So the first thing, and I'll take you through like 5 basic things that we would just, as an ordinary person that works, people like we work hard as people. When you feel like you're at a point where you're ready to ask for a promotion, these are like tiny little tips. You can do your own research. You can hit me up in the comment section if you want me to like chat more about these kind of things and maybe get an expert or two. I don't know a lot of experts, but I have good friends that are HR people that would be more than happy to come onto the channel and chat to us about topics like this. Anyways, so the first thing would be, before you even start to ask for a promotion or start thinking that far, where are you with your career? Do you feel like you're working hard enough? Have you set out personal goals that you have achieved? Before you even think of your KPI in the company, your own personal like career moves. Are you moving towards the direction that you want to, that you've planned, right? And if you feel like that you can tick all those boxes, then you're at a point where you can then do the second step, which is to think of a promotion. When you think of a promotion, you're thinking, cool, it's gonna mean that I'm gonna be put out there for assessment. So basically that's the first thing. What are the key main like aspects in your company or your organization that they will definitely look at? Are they huge on communication skills? Are they huge on like punctuality? And I know it sounds very small, like a small thing, but in some companies punctuality does count as a factor when they look at things like promotion and opportunities like that. You have to, your company better. So you need to understand, are they going to look at A, B, C, and D? And have I, as a person, achieved those things? And am I comfortable enough? If you feel that your answers are yes and you are able to like substantiate everything when you speak to your boss, then you can move to like the third. This is like not an official like step-by-step cut down, but in my head, just to segmentalize everything, I'd just say the third step would then be to sit down with someone that you trust, someone that you know. For me, it would be a friend of mine, the one that I just told you about, that works in a very big medical aid scheme company. I would then speak to a friend that I trust and know that they would be they would know what I'm talking about when I ask questions around growth and asking for a promotion. I would then role play the scenario in a way. So I would write down questions and I'd write down like where I'd like the conversation to start, because it can be quite a tricky conversation, this, because we go in quite emotional when we're asking for things like a promotion, because you're already thinking, I deserve it. For you to get to a point where you sit down with yourself, you personally think that you deserve to get it, and there's nothing wrong with that. You just need to have enough factors to substantiate that. Your actions should also be like valid enough for anyone you're going to talk to, your manager or whoever, that they have to look at all of those things and think, cool, okay, fair enough, let's give this person an opportunity to grow. So you'd sit down with your friend or whoever you trust and ask those questions. Ask the difficult questions, Ask if, well, in the department, for instance, this is what I would say personally. I would ask my boss if I was asking for a position. I hate the word boss, sorry. I'd ask my manager. If I were asking for a position, my first point of conversation would start like this. Do you think within the department there is room for me to grow my career further? Is there room for me to be put into the next position, to be appointed into the next position that's higher up from where I am, like a step further from where I am? Because I'm now at the point where I am feeling comfortable with the work that I do. I'm feeling comfortable with how I've grown and shaped myself. And how I have like worked hard to build a profile for myself within the company and within the department. So I feel it is time for me to consider pushing myself to that level. But you as a manager, do you feel there is any kind of opportunity within the department for me to grow so that I can further continue be an asset to the company and the department? That's how I would sort of, it's quite rough what I'm saying, but that's how I'd sort of phrase it. So you're not coming across like, I want a promotion, I think I'm good, I think I'm great. Because as much as we all are, but there's a way in corporate and in like creative spaces. For instance, I'm not in the corporate industry. I work for an advertising agency, so we are more on the creative side. But how you address and how you speak to someone about something so sensitive and something so passionate to you, it's important to always try to put yourself together and know the kind of words to use. And you can watch there's many other videos on YouTube where people talk about, and they'll give you tips on how to ask for a promotion, how to start those kind of conversations, and how to keep them going without any of the party feeling like they're being attacked, or both parties feeling like they are not being heard. And I mean, when you have these conversations, right, you must always anticipate, which would be the fourth thing I think you'd have to prepare yourself for. You'd have to anticipate your manager actually wanting to see and test you right there on the spot, as to whether do you think that where you are is really, like where you want to be, I should say, is really like a good place for you. Do you feel you qualify to be there? Those kind of questions you have to always prepare for. Because for instance, after what I've said, my manager could come back to me and say, okay, cool, thanks Tshepiso, I hear you. However, we as a company feel that you might have to interrogate yourself a little bit more on these areas, maybe your time management, and maybe you're not efficient with work and all of that. And remember, I would have come into this meeting thinking my time management is on point and I'm efficient, my things are just, I'm okay. Kanti, it's not the case. And it's fine to take feedback like that. However, it's not fine to take that kind of feedback and think you don't deserve to be promoted. I hope you're still with me. I think I'm rambling on quite a bit, but it's important to understand that the kind of feedback that we get does not build us. Feedback is someone else's opinion of yourself. Okay, always remember, when you get given feedback, it's someone's opinion, and whether they are right and correct in their opinion or not is really, for me at this point, I feel like we have to get past that point where we take feedback so personal. Right, it's important for us to go, like, not take it too personal, but think about it and go. Actually, this book by DJ Zinhle and I can't remember her co-writer, Nokubonga. This book, okay, I hope you can see it, Meeting Your Power. This book talks a lot about taking in feedback and how to take it in. Number one, whose feedback to consider and whose feedback to actually understand that it's meant to be personal, but you're not going to take it personal. So that book is a great guide. There's sections where they talk about taking in feedback and all of that. It'll help you a lot. So if you've got time, you can purchase it and go through it. So anyways, back to what I was trying to say. So the kind of feedback you get is really not meant to break you, and when you go in, you have to have literally polished your skin so thick that it's like, when you go in, you know that you might get negative feedback, but you're gonna come out thinking, cool, so is this where I'm supposed to improve or not? But also, in the same breath, I think we need to understand that sometimes we might disagree with the feedback. It's not to say that we're being arrogant, but in the way that we not retaliate, sorry, that's the wrong word, but in the way that we respond to the kind of feedback we're getting instantly in that room when you're asking for a promotion is important and vital. So if my boss had to say, these are the negative things that we feel that you're still lacking, then you put it back in their court to say, where do you think you would be of support to help me better myself in these areas? Where do you personally think? Because obviously you would have got into this meeting thinking you're fine. And just understand where it is, and if the person giving you feedback is able to break it down for you. If possible, even give scenarios where you are at least able to take that as examples to say, if I had given my report at 10 o'clock instead of 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I would have actually gotten positive feedback from X person. So you see, then if they're breaking that down, then you know that, oh, they think I'm efficient because I was never able, I didn't communicate in time, whether there were delays with my supplier or delays with wherever I'm getting the information that I'm supposed to put on the report from. So the fact that it seems like you're inefficient is because maybe you hadn't communicated properly. So I'm trying to break down these kind of feedback so that we all understand that whenever there's feedback, you don't just take it and run with it. You try break it down and understand. And it's always good, like I said, it's always good to just put it back to the person giving you the feedback to see how they are thinking of helping you fix it, especially if it's a manager. A manager is supposed to help you grow or guide you to grow. So if they already know that kind of feedback for you, a clever manager will always have like tips at the back of their head to say, yes, she didn't do well here, but I think this is how I can help her. So when you put out that question to say, how are you going to be of support to me to fix whatever the problem is, they should already be able to give you those tips. I can't remember if I was still on the second or third one, but I'll just say the fourth one. Excuse me if I'm giving you the fourth tip again. But you know, the fourth one would always be very attentive when you're in those meetings. Don't just go there to just talk, right? And it's, I suppose this point interlinks with the feedback point, but be able to take in everything that the person's saying, your manager, whatever that they're saying back to you, just take it in. If you've got a notepad, just take your notepad in there, take a little bit of notes, just so you can also sit down. And also, it's okay to ask for a follow-up meeting after the actual meeting of you asking for a promotion. It's okay to go back and actually ask, okay, I hear you, and this would be your kind of feedback after taking everything in. Not to say that you would obviously get everything or your feedback on the negative light. I'm sure there will be 100 positive things there, and you have to acknowledge them and actually maintain whatever it is that's positive that's come out of there, that the company and your manager feels that you're doing well. You've got to maintain. If you can, you push it up. Remember our growth mindset. It's important to always try and elevate yourself and push yourself a bit further. Of course, not like being hushed on yourself or not being satisfied with where you are. No, we're not saying that, but all I'm saying is that you always have to just maintain the good standard and go further if you can, get better if you can, if you want to, if you feel it's the right thing for you as a person and within your career or your work. So anyways, when you get all that feedback, it's important to always ask for a second meeting or a follow-up meeting, like I said. However, when you do sit in those meetings, you always have to be present. You have to be present. You have to take notes that you can, with your follow-up meeting, you can go back to those points and say, so I looked at please excuse me, I'm healing from a flu. I'm feeling much better, but the cough just won't go away. Anyways, so when you sit with yourself with those questions, you can literally come back and say, on point number 1, 2, 3, I feel that I have done X, Y, and Z in the past, and I feel like I shouldn't be disqualified at this point because I'm strong actually in this area. Yes, there might have been 1 or 2. I mean, the reality is that you're speaking to a human being and we are not perfect. They've made their mistakes as well. So it's important to like stop being hard on ourselves and thinking and letting people and our managers make us feel like we've got to be squeaky clean and like squeaky perfect for us to get promotions. No, it's like that's not the right thing, and that's not the right way of being managed. Unfortunately, that's the truth, and no one wants to be managed like that, where you are expected to be 100% perfect, whereas we know no one is perfect. But also, even saying that, you can't go in after ruining your relationships with people that you work with your suppliers, being inefficient, and then you go in and say you're not perfect. That's also the completely wrong mentality, and that's not what I'm saying at all. That's not what I'm saying at all. You can't go into your companies or your jobs or your businesses with that kind of mentality. That's wrong. Okay, so anyways, the 5th point for me, this would be my closing point, is that once you feel that, okay, cool, they've given me the promotion, I've had this chat, it was hectic, but at least I am where I am. Understand that when your manager walks out of that meeting, they've got people like at a much higher level than them that they have to convince about you to say Tshepiso has asked for a promotion, or they might go in and say, I think Tshepiso is ready to be promoted. Remember that they've got to actually sell you. So it's important to look at, say, maybe the last year or 2 of your relationship with your manager. So those kind of things play a huge role. That kind of relationship, I would always say the past 2 years or the past year, I don't know. But for me, I'd say the past 2 years, have I been consistently growing and pushing myself within the company and the department? Have I been an asset for real? And have I been like strengthening relationships with the right people also in the company? Unfortunately, that's the truth. That's where you can't not have a good relationship. You can't have a horrible relationship with people and senior people and expect that your boss can go to those very senior people and ask for a promotion and they'll say yes. So maintaining relationships is very crucial. I'm not saying lick ass, guys. I'm not saying go out there and like make sure that you get liked by force. No, but be respectful, be like cooperative, be honest at all times, and be visible. Very important. And I mean, that's also a video on its own. Be visible, be there, you know. Zozibili said that we must occupy space, right? I'm not probably not saying it the exact same word for word how she said it, but she said to us, occupy space, guys. Be there. So it's important. We can't have your manager go ask for a promotion on your behalf from their manager or like the executive team, and nobody knows who you are. They're like, Tepiso, who is that? I don't know her. Excuse me. We can't have that, because then I mean really you look like you're going crazy, and your manager is also gonna look like, okay. So it's important to be visible, and it's important to have a build up towards that conversation with your manager, you know. And also we should avoid wanting or actually going into companies, and I've seen that a lot in advertising, where people would come work for a certain company and within like 5-6 months they want a promotion. I mean, there's people that are very good and excellent and like they are great at their jobs, and they'll automatically get that. Their manager will be like, cool, you deserve a promotion. 2 months in, girl, you're flying. But if you feel like you still trying to get a pace of your excellence and like try to get a rhythm of like how you push yourself and like building your own brand. Also, that's a video for a different day. It's a whole video on its own. Have I built this profile? Have I built this brand to say, cool, this is who I am and this is what I'm about? If you haven't done that and you feel like you want to just step into a company and then within 5 months get promoted, it's just unfair on your manager as well, you know, because they're also trying to understand your rhythm. Unless I'm saying to you, unless you're super excellent, and there's plenty of people like that out there, plenty, where they'll come into a company and within a matter of time they're promoted and their things are going well, which is fine. It's absolutely fine. But please refrain from having like a hectic ego where you're gonna just step in and think you deserve this. No, we have to literally go step by step. Work, show yourself, be visible, let people see you, let your work speak for itself. Before you actually start to speak, let your work speak for itself. So that's my fifth and final one. Be visible, and make sure that before you get to that day where you speak about asking for a promotion, make sure these past couple of months, 12 months, 24 months, whatever, you've actually done your best. Okay, and keep that momentum going. If you have done your best, keep it going, keep pushing. I mean, we're all here to flip and learn from each other. So if there's anything that I've said that you agree or disagree with, speak to me in the comment section. I'm happy to learn from you guys. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next one. Bye.